आला रे आला IPL आला
Moving on to the next team, I think the next team which I want to do right now is just randomly picking up Punjab Kings because this is one team uh, which I think is going to do well this time because I'm really impressed with their smart buying at the auction this time and the fact that they have sort of got embarrassment of riches in terms of selection. That's my analysis of their team. How do you look at this squad? Do you think much better and tighter unit than last time?
No, and I'm sorry I'm saying that because you've built this up like they've solved all their holes, and
Not
uh,
all, but better than last time. That's what I felt.
I don't know. I don't know. So their problem, what was their problem last year? Their problem was that uh, they struggled with their overseas bowling department,
Yeah.
and they had Sheldon Cottrell and Chris Jordan, and they didn't quite work. So they released the likes of Cottrell and Jordan, and I mean sorry, Jordan is
So
still part of
Jordan
the
is
team.
yeah.
Yeah, but they released Cottrell and they ended up getting Jhye Richardson and Riley Meredith. Now I'm very excited about Riley Meredith,
Yeah.
and I hope he actually plays to start with.
Yeah.
But when you've paid 14 crore plus for Jhye Richardson, you've got to start with him. He looks a really good bowler. He's troubled Virat Kohli in India-Australia games, and he had a really good big bash. Also, he can bat. He's a bit of a hitter, lower down the order, so he's pretty good. But he's not proven in the IPL. He's going to be bowling for a long time in India. So there is a bit of a question mark. If he starts well and has the kind of effect that Anrik Nokia did last year, brilliant. But I think the kind of bowler that Nokia is, Riley Meredith is a better suit. Now, can you play Meredith and Jhye Richardson? That's the question. And it can only be answered looking at what kind of team you end up picking. So, you got Rahul and Mayank at the top for Kings 11, for Punjab Kings. You get used to saying that now. And I would actually play David Malan ahead of Chris Gayle, but I know that they will start with Chris Gayle. It's between the two, right? Gayle or Malan. The problem I have with Gayle is you have to bat him in the top three, and I believe Nicholas Pooran should be batting at three because he's too good a player. He was, in my view, in spite of the great IPL he personally had, he was underutilized by coming in at four. Pooran is, is a smashing T20 player, one of the best in the world. He should be playing at number three all day. And if Gale plays, Gale will not end up playing at three. So that's my concern. As it turns out, I don't rule out that there could be a case where they do not go for the extra overseas batsmen. And they actually put a little bit of faith in the Indian batters. They let go of players like Karun Nair last year, K. Gautam as well. They let go of Glenn Maxwell, who had a shocker of the season again. So if they can, Deepak Hooda was a bit of a find for them towards the end of the season. So if you can go Rahul, Mayank, Pooran, and then actually put in Deepak Hooda, who can't bat four, but Sarfaraz Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, those are the kind of guys that they've got. It still seems a little light, right? So then you're forced to play the overseas batsmen. So I'm going to go Rahul, Mayank, Pooran, Malan for Gale because that's your four. You can then have Deepak Hooda, Shah Rukh Khan, and Sarfaraz Khan. You can afford to have two out of those three, whichever two they go. Hooda will play, so it'll probably be one between Shah Rukh Khan and Sarfaraz Khan. You then have Jhye Richardson potentially batting at seven, which is a bit high, right? So Richardson at seven, and their problem comes now 8, 9, 10, 11 cannot bat. So you have Mohammed Shami, you have Ravi Bishnoi, who will definitely walk into this team. So that's 8 and 9. I hope they play Riley Meredith, right? So that's your last overseas and your number 10. And the 11th guy is either Murugan Ashwin if you want to play two spinners, or Arshdeep Singh, the left arm seamer. So that's the problem they had last year. Chris Jordan was batting at seven for them last year, and they have a similar sort of problem now. The other issue they have is their batters, it's similar to the Indian team that we discussed, their batters can't bowl and their bowlers can't bat. None of the top guys bowl. So you have exactly five bowling options if you play five specialist bowlers. And Deepak Hooda comes as the sixth. If you don't play Deepak Hooda, the only other way you can counter that is if you don't play Riley Meredith and play Moses Henriques instead. And I don't think that fits well because you can do a bit of batting and a bit of bowling. But for me, that's the thing. Their best bowling attack includes Meredith and Richardson, along with Shami, Ravi Bishnoi, and either Arshdeep or Murugan Ashwin, depending on conditions. And their best batting side would mean, therefore, that they have to finish their batting at 5-6. So that's the bold way I would go. Even if Jhye Richardson's batting at 7, it's fine because that's just the team that they've got. So the imbalance is what I worry about. And therefore, I think they might resort to a team which may not serve either purpose.
I just felt that they are a much better team than last time, if not the best this time, because of the fact that the signing that they did this year. I was a couple of guys, especially in the batting lineup, like Dawid, Malan, you said, but he might not get the first preference ahead of Gayle initially, especially after the way he fared in the T20 series, except for the last game against India. Do you think that if they could play Malan and also somebody like a Shah Rukh Khan as a finisher at 6, who I've seen closely in Tamil Nadu domestic, and interestingly, I should tell the viewers that I've also played a bit of cricket with him in Chennai when I was there. Yeah. I know him personally. So. Do you think that if they have the likes of Mayank, Rahul, and Malan as a top 3, which is a very safe top order, you could say, these guys can last a good amount of overs if they set their eyes in. So even if somebody like a Shah Rukh is coming at 6 and maybe a Jordan or Meredith at 7 who could bat a bit, those top 6 can actually be enough for the batting lineup in a T20 game, 120 balls.
Yeah, so Richardson at 7. But no, I know what you're saying. You're putting a lot of faith in those top 6, but then I don't want Rahul to be confusing himself about his role again. He should just go and smash it. He should play freely. Can you do that when you know your batting's going to end effectively at 6 or 7? I think if they have that mindset, because you're technically looking at, no matter who bats 7, you're looking at Mohammed Shami batting at 8.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a bit of a concern. To be honest, they've got really good batsmen in the top 4, whether they go Gayle or Malan, and they've got Rahul, Agarwal, and Nicholas Pooran. So for me, you go with your best team, even if it means that the batting isn't deep. You put a little extra responsibility on Rahul or on David Malan, who can play right through the innings. So I think that's just the team they've got. I'm not going to put a lot of things on Shah Rukh Khan. It's his first IPL. He's going to bat at an extremely difficult position. 6 and 7 is a really hard place to bat. You can either find yourself batting with the tail, or you can find yourself coming in with just 5 or 6 balls. You have to have an instant impact. So really hard place to play. So I hope he does well. Good luck to him. But between Hooda, Shah Rukh Khan, and Sarfaraz Khan, they can play any 2. So
even Mandeep is an option.
Yeah, but I don't think Mandeep Singh has inspired a lot of confidence playing that role. And Mandeep Singh wants to sort of, again, he's come in at 3 at times last year, and I don't think that works for him either. So I don't think Mandeep in the top works, and they've got better options. It's that simple.
Yeah, they also have the option of Fabian Allen if they want to, just use him, because he recently finished a couple of games against Sri Lanka.
Yeah, so Fabian Allen and Moses Henriques are the 2 all-rounders that you can consider, but it'll come at the expense of either Jhye Richardson or Riley Meredith, which I'm not a fan of. I think Riley Meredith is very exciting. I think if he gets a little opportunity, even if he has a bad game to start with, if you can back him, Meredith could really trouble batsmen in India, because he's quick, he's tall, he's nasty, he can do what Anrik Nokia did for Delhi Capitals last year. So I hope Anil Kumble and KL Rahul see him as that sort of bowler. And if it's a toss-up between Richardson and Meredith, you are going to start with Richardson, because you can't pay 14 crore and not play a player in 11. That's the problem.
So going by your analysis, I don't see them ending in top 4.
I don't see them ending in top 4.